So for this strat right now, this is my like average clear time is 213 here. So this is kind of where we're sitting at. So 213 to 220, I'd say is pretty fair for this the clear time. We're only using one Soul of Fire for the team. This is the upgrade order. We have Prodigy Ascendant 1, Omega Shenron 1, Golden Requiem Will. Then we have Primal Fusion, Fingernail Saint, and Thunder Goddess. All right, these are all the units we're using for this current one. Yes, we'll definitely show gear right after this. Just gonna go through this one more run so you guys see how it works. I enjoyed doing it for the last video where I just like opened up with the time, showed the strat, and then showed the gear. And afterwards I'll show the CID strat and how people are like using them. Show how people are getting that 50 bill plus CID or whatever it is. So not too hard to do, but we'll do that, and then I'll drop the link while we're explaining the CID, and whoever wants to jump into the server can grab a Primal. So I'll give a few away. Yeah, so this is straight up just brute force, by the way, for this this one, and Johnny does a ton of damage. So between Johnny and Gohan, they're carrying quite a bit, and Yoruichi. So if you're wondering like who's the key damage dealers, that's who we have right now. Thunder Goddess does quite a bit of damage, and then Johnny and Gohan are just carrying. So if you're wondering like who's the core damage dealers, Omega Shenron, he does damage too. He's actually pretty decent, but he's not going to be doing as much as Gohan over here and Johnny and Thunder Goddess. However, he's an important support. So people are wondering, why do you need him? He buffs all ally stats by 1.5x while in range, and then he weakens the enemies in range. You can check out Golden Will too, very classic unit over here. Insane passive, been good since day one for drop. And then we have Primal Fusion as well. Primal Fusion's really insane. So, alright, so this is all good. This is how it works. And now let's go into the gear. When did I get Gohan? I got him on the very close to the day after he dropped. I just took the time to make a shiny one. Like I really wanted a shiny Gohan because I thought the cape looks really good. Good aura farming. Alright. So if you're looking for gear, this is the gear for right now. First off, let's before I go into gear, boss event. So the boss event we're talking about is the 88% resistance to the ultimate. This is the reason why we're using this team and not the Yuta team or anything else for ultimate. So we have Yoruichi, damage increase, crit crit, trident, thundering fury. For Gohan, goggles, ability cooldown, anything to reduce ability cooldown, and then flippers just for cost reduction, ability cooldown, and damage increase. Soul of chances, just so he can spam, and as he spams he has a chance to deal double damage. So really the more Gohan gets double hits, the better. Omega Shenron, I have him as a crit setup, and then every third attack he deals another 80% of his base damage. So huge help having Thundering Fury. So grab these gears and trident. Fingernail Saint, I know you're seeing a pattern here. We have all crit gear, we have trident, and then we have Soul of Virtual. So his damage output is really insane. And yes, I did wait to get a shiny Johnny. Pretty classic setup for Giorno over here. Celestial Crown, Cloak, Flippers, Trident, Soul of Fire. I'm only using one Soul of Fire for the build. That's all I have. I know some folks have multiple, and you can run multiple Souls of Fire. But this is if you're broke, and you have one. Soul of Riches speeds up the yen generation. You can easily trade this out for Soul of Steel if you want, Soul of Steel Ball. So if you guys are like, I don't have Soul of Riches yet, get a Soul of Steel Ball, use that. So that's what I'd recommend for in place of. So that's the setup. That is the run that I'm using right now for my 2-minute times. And now I'll show you guys the CID tech that people are talking about. This is the CID tech people are talking about. So I'm going to go in. Let me change the upgrade order real quick, and then we'll restart the match. So I'm going to show you how they're getting the numbers they're getting in Insider Post if they haven't showed it already. It's really nothing special. I'm just like I don't know. I'm a big advocate where if you're gonna just show something, might as well show how to do it. There's no point in like leaking it and then not showing how it's done. But we can get some pretty absurd numbers even with Kirito too. So I'll show that as well. So let's go to team here. We're gonna just upgrade Soul King. Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in now and you're wondering what's going on, we're about to show the CID tech. We showed the actual tech for the boss event, which is pretty legit because it doesn't use anything else other than crit and damage dealers. So this is exactly how people are going to be getting that 50 mil per second with 0 cooldown. So the same thing will apply for Kirito too, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll do 2 matches here. So right now, all you're doing is you're upgrading Soul King. Soul King's going to be the last thing you use. You're waiting for Shadow to get 1 or 2 upgrades here. So he has a passive every 30% chance his ability reduces the ultimate cooldown by 10 seconds and buffs ultimate damage by 15 or 25%. He's got some weird interaction going where his ability CD just keeps dropping. So it's probably a bug. But I'm not doing anything to bug it, if that makes sense. The way the game's working now is once he gets that drop, you can increase it and it'll keep dropping. So I'll show you what I mean by that. We're waiting for that 30% to proc like 1 more time. The numbers can get pretty absurdly high. Yes, you have to do it manual. Yes, it's also pretty inconsistent. I guess to make it more consistent, you can run duplicate, and maybe you get some good deals with duplicate. Let's do 1 upgrade here. All right, so he'll attack a little faster. We'll just let it be. I mean, it's dumb, but that's how you're gonna get the damage thumbnail if you're wondering, you know, how'd he do it. So it's very RNG based here. Bro's got to get it at least 1 more time. Come on now. Dude, Cid is asleep. That's one of the reasons I'm not using the strat. Also, it's like just very inconsistent. There it is. You see? He dropped. You see how we're waiting and it dropped and now he got the bonus? Great. So now we have 3.9. Look, let me do 1 upgrade. It's 2.3. So right now, we're in a good spot where it can drop faster now because of his attack speed. So Soul of Fire won't do anything because it doesn't affect ability cooldown. I'll show you the loadout for this, guys, afterwards so you can understand how we're going to get 50 mil plus damage. Right, so we can go up 1, we can go up another 1, and then I can go up here and we're 40 mil. Alright, that's all it was. And then, if you want the thumbnail aura, we can just hit Aizen, and then Aizen buffs by another 100%, and now I have something that's doing 66 million every 0 seconds. That's it, that's the tech. It's nothing special. Really, we're using Utah here to help any bonuses that are stacking up boost on Shadow. Yeah, this one took 3 minutes because he took forever. I'll show it 1 more time. I'll show this one more time. Alright, while I'm showing this, I'm going to drop the... I'll drop it in a minute, real quick. For Evo Carrot, no idea. So the hardest part is this right here, is the start for the Cid strat, is because you're waiting for him to get the proc on the first few seconds. And that's the brutal part. So you're just literally waiting. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Yes, I'm gonna clip this and edit this into the video. This way it's out there. So we have the legitimate strat, but then we also have what folks are doing for Shadow if you're curious as to how it's working. But we can also show with Kirito as well. Kirito I think is a lot more interesting than the Shadow one because it's more consistent. Yep. This is the boring part. It's one of the reasons I hate this strategy. It's just you're just waiting for an RNG chance of him using his ability every 8 seconds. Let me see if I can... Nope. Show us the Kirito one? Yeah, absolutely. I'll show the Kirito one. I'd like for him to proc one more time at least, so we can get some bigger numbers one more time. Frustrating unit over here. Holy moly. Okay, there you go. Boom. It worked. He finally decided to attack. So he went from 8 point whatever to 6.5. And all it is it has to do with something from his atomic charge. Now he dropped to 4.9. Great. So we're going to upgrade so we drop it even lower so he has a greater chance of using it. So now we're at 2.9. He goes to 1 second now. He's at 0 seconds. Perfect. And now we can just increase, let him proc one more time. Look, you see how he just decided all of a sudden he felt like proccing? And then you upgrade, he's 31 mil. Like, if you do it earlier, sooner in his levels, it'll work better. And then you pop Aizen, and now I have a 52 mil thumbnail. If that's what you guys were looking for, was like the 50 mil. And it can jump to 80. I managed to get him all the way to like 80 something. So the thing that's proccing is the atomic charge. I think it's affecting his ability cooldown, not his ultimate cooldown. Something's going on where it's dropping some sort of percent. Truthfully, this might not mean anything. This might not mean anything. His passive and the unit's just not working properly. Let's be real here. Alright, so lastly, I'll show you guys Kirito. So let me show the gear setup for this real quick if you're wondering for the loadout. So the gear on everything else is irrelevant. It really doesn't matter if you're just trying to work on CID. This is all you need for CID. Ability cooldown drop, ability cooldown drop, ability cooldown drop, and then Soul of Sloth. Bigger base damage, so his actual ability damage scales higher. So that's in turn how everything kind of works. So I go Soul of Sloth. Soul of Sloth is a huge help for that, especially for someone who's just using that. I might actually try Soul of Sloth on Gohan, potentially. It might be worth using. Anyway, so that's the team setup. Now let's go with Kirito. So you guys can see Kirito. So we got Virtual Swordsman. Virtual Swordsman needs gear, and Virtual Soul is good enough. So Kirito's, I think, is a lot crazier, personally. I think his damage just gets a little on the insane side too when you start talking crit damage. But right now it seems to be a feature of the game and how everything is built out or has been built out, or I don't know how everything's edited with them. Here we go. Alright. Well, I showed the gears, so if you need to, you can rewind it. So right now with Kirito, you're just waiting. Guys, for Kirito, you are just... I'll show you the gears after. So you're just waiting for Dark Repulsor. Once you get Dark Repulsor, you use it. You use Dark Repulsor, and then as you level up Kirito, his crit damage starts scaling. You notice how it just starts going up, and now we're at 1,000 crit damage. We hit 1,700 crit damage. 1,700k crit damage. Yep. Now, truthfully, I don't know if the display numbers are correct based on the damage that's being output. However, whatever the case, that's exactly how that's working. So you just pop Dark Repulsor at level 1, and then you start using that, and now he's hitting, he's doing work. Total damage he's done, this doesn't even make sense, right? Like, this doesn't make sense, what he's done and what's being done. So there's definitely some bug stuff going on. It's not visually showing correctly, but this shows he's done 26 billion. But this here shows 1.9, 1.6. So, yep, that's where the unit's at. I don't know how much this will actually truthfully bump it up by, but that's where he's at. That's showing total damage. Oh, I appreciate it, Pride Sin. The whole time of its usage. Oh, I appreciate that, Pride Sin. Dude, I would have never have known that, actually. The whole time it's been used. Alright. Error. Attempt to connect. Alright, so we'll go back. I'll go through the gears one more time. If anyone wants a Primal Gogeta and you need one because you don't have one, don't take it away from someone who doesn't need it. Or you got a friend who needs it. I have a few I'll give away. Dude, the numbers did not add up for me. I was like some weird UI stuff. Alright, so if anyone needs one, jump in. We have a few Primal Gogetas, Primal Fusions we can give. So we have a few today. I'll give away. I'll save 2 for this evening. I got 4 we can give away. So I'll do it first come first serve. Just jump in the link if you guys want it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting. Is Gohan still optimal? Yeah, so if you're looking for the build was shown earlier on. This is the exact team I'm running at the moment. This team is very, very good. Is there's only cost for gear reduction? Yes, yeah, so I can just show you real quick. I have the send cooldown 2 cost 3 and 4. Souls of Riches 2. Yep. Yep, so if anyone else would like a Primal Fusion, just hop in real quick. I'll hand these out. Yeah, so this is the legit team that I'm using that gets 2-minute clears. We went over this in the beginning. Hey, what's going on, brother? You here for one? You got 10 billion greeds, yeah. Yeah, it's a pain to get. No problem, brother. Anytime, anytime. Am I using Soul of Greed? I am not using any Souls of Greed. So Souls of Greed boosts the actual item drop rate. I don't think it boosts unit drop rate, so I stopped using it. Personally, for me, I just don't. Yeah. I seem to be doing better getting more of the primals than I have if I was using it for some reason. I think it has to do with it. It is good for reroll numbers, but I've been doing good enough with rerolls. I think I went from like 1k to almost 6k right now, just from farming this event. Alright, that's 2 given away. Yep. There's my last 2. Brother, we have to be getting close to the shiny. Putting good vibes out into the universe, man. I'm like, please. Let's get this shiny. You're still loading? No problem. Look, if you receive the Primal Gogeta and you have a bunch of extras and you know people need some, just pay it forward and just help folks out, because it's a good support unit. By far probably one of the better support units they've dropped, and it's just up there with Golden Will. It just works so well. So it's a huge help for probably any events going forward or anything that drops next week. Yeah, he's gonna be meta for a long time, considering the way Golden Will's been meta. Yeah, of course. Anytime, brother. Yeah, of course. Anytime, brother. Alright. This is the last one I'm giving away, and then I'll give away the other two probably this evening if I'm trading. Yeah, if I'm streaming this evening, I'll give two away. I think someone else jumped in. I'll give one more. I'll give one more. Just handing these out like candy right now. No worries. Hulk Hogan. That's funny. Thank God, Slum. I saw you just jumped in, so. Yep, anytime. No problem, Izzy. Where'd the other dude go? No idea. You're gonna have to hit him up. And I figured you were picking it up for somebody. Alright. I did already go over it, DJ, if you want to rewind. However, yes, you do upgrade Johnny, you upgrade Omega Shenron, and Thunder Goddess and Prodigy Ascendant, and you'll get 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Yep, you're welcome, guys. No problem. I'm glad you guys got the Gogetas here. I'll run it once more. That would have been the